Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated, backyard superstar Tim Vicious. And, well, folks, before I get into this week's show, want to quickly address the whole CM Punk debacle, as I'm just gonna go on a whim and guess. A lot of you know Punk was on Colt Cabana's podcast on Thanksgiving, in which case, before I actually address that, hey Colt Cabana, I know you watch this show, brother, can't hide it. You also watch Ollie's TNA turnaround too. But, folks, you take what he says with a grain of salt, because in all honesty, you're only hearing his side. I'm not saying he's right, and I'm not saying he's wrong. There are parts of his stories that I can pigeonhole, and I did actually while I was listening to it. I'm not going to do that right now, just out of courtesy for you folks, and it would take up way too much time, and I don't want it to be on that. You know, take what he says with a grain of salt, because you're only hearing his half. You know, unless WWE buckles in and actually addresses everything he says, which I highly doubt they're gonna. All you got is just his end, and he's just coming off as a bitter, disgruntled former employee. So please take it with that, like I said, folks. Alright, so now getting on with this week's show. 2 weeks away from TLC. We start out Raw. We lined up getting the anonymous general manager, who's not really anonymous because they wound up showing that it was Hornswoggle a while back, but apparently, you know, WWE wound up breaking their own rule in the post-Benoit era and took a headshot and forgot. Yeah. So, the anonymous general manager came out, or not came out, but emailed, was going on how the authority's gone, there's too much anarchy in chaos. Dude, there hasn't. Okay? Seriously. You got a couple heels running heavy and hot. What else do you expect? I mean, for crying out loud, I've been complaining on Where's the Heat. Guys are doing stuff to actually make me think, okay, maybe they're actually trying to bring some heat now. I can't really argue on that. But, yeah, next thing you know, of all people to interrupt, who else? Cuck Fina. I mean, I'm gonna eventually get this whole murmur thing right. John Cena. That's who. Yeah. He comes out. Starts throwing out all these winds up coming out, cracking jokes, saying, oh yeah, what's the anonymous general manager and Brock Lesnar have in common? They both only come around once a year. Really? Look, I said it before, and I stand by the argument, but I'm not a big fan of doing part-timers, but the way I see on how they're booking Brock as champion, I'm all for it. Because here's the thing, people. 1, wake up. 2, you know what you need to do? Realize they're doing that as a hot commodity and a sell point. Much like with saying, tonight, special guest appearance, The Rock. You know? Nothing no different. And aside from that, also, Brock, if Brock was there every night, y'all would still be bitching and complaining. Saying, oh, he's there, he's just not defending the title, he's only doing it at pay-per-views, this, that, and the other. Well, you know what? hell, let's just say for the sake of argument, he was there every night. And if the title only got put on the line at pay-per-views, you guys would still be complaining because you know what? Even if Cena was champ, they would do the same thing. You know, I mean, Paul Heyman wound up putting it best. He is a hot commodity for a sell point to sell. So, why have him be there on a nightly basis? I'd be like calling every Monday Night Raw WrestleMania. You know? Anyways, Cena's out there, he's cracking jokes, and I've never been so thankful for Seth Rollins in all my life. He came out, cut John off. Seth wound up was like, oh yeah, John, coming out, throwing out all these really lame jokes, oh hey, da, 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 da. You know, them two spitting words back and forth. And Seth really pretty much hit the nail on the head. John takes credit when it's not due a lot of times, when he's in like tag matches. If he's not the one that gets the winning fall, it's still John Cena and such, you know? And seriously, stop giving him top billing. Emphasize that the other guy wound up getting it, you know? Emphasize on how Ziggler defied odds, took down 3 men when, for all intents and purposes, he was pretty much running on fumes, and yet still wound up doing it. Obviously, Sting wound up coming in to run interference, but it's neither here nor there. Point is, he did that. Now, also, they wound up announcing they're going to do a tables match between Cena and Rollins at TLC, and if Cena loses, he's no longer going to be the #1 contender. So, well, you pretty much know it already is going to sell. You pretty much already know for a fact now that Cena's going to win, which is going to kind of suck now. But you know, I would really like to see. I would have liked to have seen Seth put him through a table at that match. Not so much because of the #1 contender spot, because I want to see the new up-and-comers actually get legitimately over by taking down the big babyface. You know? I mean, if you're building Seth up to be the future of the company, why not have him take out your biggest, why not have him come out, do a few matches with the guy who is the face of the company and, you know, straight up destroy him, basically. Yeah, but anyways, they start brawling, and next thing you know, King comes out, he interferes, and then old Roydberg comes out. Trash starts running interference, and then it's Show, and then Rowan, and then Ziggler, and then what's the remnants of the Authority wind up destroying them all. They set up a table, and Seth actually has Noble and Mercury help him do a triple power bomb into the table. So I'm guessing just by the power bomb, that's supposed to be a little hint or a cue saying that Seth's next feud is going to be with Reigns. You know, I think that could work because he already worked with Dean with the Shield. Now have him work with Roman in regards to it. Now, next matchup, tag team turmoil match, and basically it was a tag team gauntlet. So we get the Dust Brothers come out first, and then we get the New Day, and gotta tell you, I'm not really all that impressed with the New Day because all they really do is just come out doing, you know, I mean, if you're gonna make them look like they're legitimately talking and preaching about a new day coming for them all, you know what you have them do? Have them, you know, have one of them walk out with a mic. Woods can work a mic pretty decently. I can't really say much on Kofi. I don't remember Kofi getting much mic time. Big E, I know for a fact, can handle a promo perfectly. If you don't believe me, look at his Instagram videos or check out his work when he was in NXT. You know, phenomenal. But have them come out, you know, have them actually make it kind of sound like one of those old black preachers in like the Baptist church talking about on how a new day's gonna come up for them and on how they're gonna have all their wrongs righted and all that kind of stuff. Something like that, you know, because honestly, it's really ugh. I mean, I would much rather, personally, I would much rather have them come out and do something like the Nation of Domination. But no, for a fact they ain't gonna. Especially with all that Ferguson shit, you know? And in which case, after the New Day came out, all I thought was, if the New Day loses, we rot! Oh, wait. Never mind. Too soon. But anyways, the match starts out, the Turmoil match starts out, Dust Brothers and New Day, they worked pretty decently. I liked on how, you know, it was Kofi and Big E. So they really did kind of surprise me on how well they worked together with their, you know, as far as with that, you know, Kofi having the agility and Big E being the muscle. They work really good. I always like seeing tag teams like that. Because, you know, you can wind up getting a lot of interesting chemistry between them, like on how Batista and Rey Mysterio was. But anyways, New Day wound up getting a win. Big E went to hit a bit on how they did. Big E hit the big landing, and Kofi from the top rope jumped down and helped spike it, which I loved. I thought that was impressive. Next team up, it was Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, which I seen them and I was like, oh, that can work. Because, and hear me out, this somewhat made me think of it. This is what made me think of their tag team name. Tyson Kidd brings the facts. Cesaro is the king of swing. Together, they are the fact swingers. That, or, you know, since Tyson Kidd's big thing is cats, also, and Cesaro's the Swiss Superman, you can just call them the Swiss Super Cats. Just a thought. Anyways, their matchup goes, and Cesaro and Kidd, they're working in pretty good heel fashion. I'm digging the hell out of it. You know? And honest to goodness, Cesaro, he really does need a main event push, because I kid you not, if he is not main eventing or at least high up in the card for within the next 3 years for WrestleMania, I swear I will find a way to get to Connecticut and cherry bomb every bathroom in there just to screw with that company, so that way they can get an idea of, y'all want to waste money? Okay, boop. And trust me, folks, the cherry bomb down the toilet trick does work. Take it from personal experience, I've done it. So yeah, Cesaro wound up getting a quick roll up on Kofi. It was Kofi. He wound up getting a 1, 2, 3. So New Day was out, and I was thoroughly shocked on that one. I was expecting them to win so that way they could then wind up using that as a springboard to jump into, you know, and as more of a dominant tag team scene or team. Next up, the Usos. We already all know how I feel about them. Honestly, nothing against the Usos. I give everyone credit that's willing to walk into the ring. I'm not one of those bitter guys saying, that, oh yeah, I don't like this one because he goes in there. No, I give respect to anyone that walks in the ring. When I go and trash somebody on here like I do with Cena, I'm talking about their character, their ring character, not the actual performer. If I mention the performer, I will make sure to talk about that. But the Usos I don't like because honestly they're just basically a team of spots. You know, super kick, stink face, suicide dive, you know, body, you know, cross body, top rope splash. I just pretty much described the Usos' entire arsenal and on how their matches go. But yeah, the Usos wound up taking down the Fact Swingers. They got the 1, 2, 3, and then next up, I really wish that this team didn't even happen. Adam Rose and the Bunny. Don't get me wrong, Bunny cracks me up. But seriously, what the frig? Oh my god. I mean, hell, you could have had them at least be out first and have the Dust Brothers take them out. You know, and then have everyone else fight each other. But oh my Lord in heaven, oh. Oh man. As you would expect, the Usos won, so whoo yay. They're now the #1 contenders, so we're going to get a tag team match between them and Miz and Mizdow for the titles. In which case, Mizdow, I just as a random thought, you know on how Mizdow always has like the toy replica belts when Miz is a champ? I wonder if he has a toy, I wonder if he gets like a little, gets to actually keep those replicas so that way he can put them up on his wall saying, oh yeah, that was my championship. But yeah, next matchup, it was Rowan versus Big Show. And I gotta tell you, I'm digging Rowan's new theme music. It's starting to grow on me. But he came out second. Talk about Big Show first. He came out, he had a mic on him. Was talking about, yeah, I'm a bully. Yeah, really, Show? We couldn't tell. You know, you only wind up doing that every time you go heel. I mean, for crying out loud, I thought John Cena was as bland as the paint on that wall. But really? Big Show, listen. When you come off as a heel, you're either doing one or two things. You're coming off as a bully, or you're coming off as a big angry giant. And seriously, man, get some dynamics. Get some dynamics and figure out on, okay, what else can I do to say on why I'm a bad guy? Maybe because I feel like I'm screwed over. Maybe because I feel like that this talent doesn't deserve to be in the same presence as me. Things like that. You know, it's little things like that that wind up building a character. But, anyways, Rowan came out, and these two, well, like I said, I'm not a fan of two big guys in the ring at the same time. They were pretty much doing like what I always say they do, just kind of big and clunky. I mean, yeah. And Show eventually wound up grabbing some stairs, wham, threw him at Rowan, and you could see Rowan wound up getting a nice sized bruise on the side of his head over it, and yeah, ow. In which case, ow, dude, man, you got my sympathy right there. I have taken shots to the head in that area, and that does hurt like a sunbuck. You got my sympathy there. Ugh. You know, I don't think he was overselling on that part. I think he legit took that shot and was just like, ah, fuck, that hurt. And just went along with it. So, Rowan wound up getting the win by DQ, technically, but yeah. Next matchup, it was Fan Salsa, or Fan Dinglehopper or Fan Chimichanga? Something like that. Versus Jack Swagger, in which case that match technically it didn't happen because they can't. Fan Taco Stand wound up coming down to the ring, and I'm not really digging the whole salsa dancer gimmick now. I mean, the ballroom dancer thing was okay, but the salsa dancer one, I mean, Rosa Mendez, it's sad to say because I can't dance for the life of me, but I think I got more freaking rhythm than Rosa does when she's dancing, which is saying something, you know? Because, I mean, all she does is really like this. And, damn. You know? And I'm pretty sure she's like Colombian or something, so you figure she would be able to dance. But, ugh. Man, I feel sorry for her on that part. But Swagger never came out. They wound up showing in the back. Zeb wound up getting attacked. So Jack didn't come out. He was calling for help. They wound up saying, the winner of this match, the referee is throwing this match out. Your winner is Fan Burrito. And then Rusev came out, Lana doing her normal anti-US propaganda stuff, and then Swagger came out and just proceeded to stomp a mud hole in Rusev, in which case, yes, let this be a thing, let this be a full-on legit thing. I am so digging the hell out of this. Have them two feuding, you know, you got the pissed off Oklahoma boy going up against the big old Russian boy who's got the U.S. title. Have them feud. Have Swagger saying, I want that belt because a real American should be wearing that title, not you. Yes, that will work so beautifully. That should have been on what was going on during SummerSlam. But, you know, either way, fact is, I wound up saying that long before SummerSlam with their match, and now that they're doing it, this is proof positive WWE does watch this show. I'm not 100% sure it's Vince that's watching this. I really hope it's not that piece of shit Kevin Dunn. I'd be okay if it was Michael Hayes. You know, I was always a Freebirds fan. And I still say Freebirds should be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah. Next matchup, it was Mizdow versus Fernando, or was it Diego, or I can't tell them apart. It was one of the Matadors. You know, I was digging the hell out of this match. Miz was on commentary the whole time, and Mizdow out-Mizes the Miz, which, if that statement makes sense, you know, I guess another way you could put it, he doesn't better Miz than the Miz does. And I freaking love it. You know I say on here a lot, every time Miz does the figure four, God kills a kitten. Folks, please think of the kittens. I'm pretty sure in which case, if that's the case, when Mizdow does it, he's just like, you know what? You're good, kid. I'll let you go. And lets the kittens live. So yeah, but yeah, I was digging the hell out of it, and my son wound up waking up in the middle. My son wound up waking up a little bit before that match, asked if he could sit with me for a little bit before he went back to bed, and the whole time he's watching the match, he's telling me on which guy is which and saying on who he wants to win. So, you know, Mizdow's over with my son, so I can't really knock on that. I definitely dig the hell out of that shit. So, yeah, Mizdow wound up getting the win. He did the figure four. I was expecting Miz to do another kind of thing to win, but instead, after Mizdow won, wound up seeing one of the Usos just walk right up to the Miz and wham! Slap the taste right out of his mouth and then walk back. That's not a very babyface thing to do. Just saying. Next match, it was R-Truth versus Wyatt, and I was satisfied with this match because knew Wyatt was going to win automatically once I saw who his opponent was, but instead of it being a squash match where it was Truth had control for 90% of the match and then Wyatt comes back with 5 or 6 moves, it was actually a back and forth squash match. You know, which I like those for my squash matches, if you're going to do it. That worked out better because it makes the loser look good and it still makes the winner look good. They need to start doing that a lot more when they go and do squash matches. You know, but Truth, he was doing good. He was hitting he was on the mark with all his moves. Wyatt, oh my God. How much more can we say about Bray Wyatt? The man's freaking amazing. You know, I mean, Bray wound up getting the win with the sister Abigail. Next thing you know, Ambrose winds up coming out. Them two start going at it. And Ambrose, well, before that, Wyatt's in the ring with a whole bunch of tables, chairs, and ladders and all, sitting in his rocker, talking about on how to cut a beautiful promo comparing Jacob's Ladder, you know, saying on how comparing Jacob's Ladder to their TLC match at the pay-per-view, and you know, talking about on how they're gonna wind up pretty much gonna drag him down to hell. Then that's when Ambrose came out and they started brawling. And after they were brawling, they got broken up. Ambrose was in the ring, grabbed Wyatt's rocker, wham, smashed it, and honestly, I think it was a little too soon before Wyatt wound up breaking up with his rocker. It's so sad to see good in-ring relationships like that break apart, especially on live TV. Okay, now that I'm done with my sympathy acting and my stupid little spin right there. Next match, an ST Divas match. Joy of Joys. You got the Bellas versus AJ and a mystery opponent, which had to be voted in on, and it was Naomi. I mean, seriously, if AJ's supposed to be pushed as his heel, it would have made more sense to have her team with a heel. So they should have had her teaming with Alicia Fox. That would have made more sense. But why Naomi? I have no idea. I mean, ugh. And yeah, it was your atypical run-of-the-mill ST Divas tag match. AJ got the win. Joy of Joys. End of first sequence, fade to black. Now, next matchup, it was the main event of the night. Kakfina, Ryroyd, and Ziggler versus Rollins, Harper, and Kane. And yeah, don't get me wrong, before I get on about with the match, I want to talk about with Harper real quick. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the idea of Harper being champ. It's a good idea, you know, guy's got talent, definitely deserves it, but he could treat the title a hell of a lot better instead of just letting it scrape up against the floor. I mean, seriously, come on now. But yeah. So yeah, as far as this match goes, it was pretty decent, you know. It was a lot of good old-fashioned brawling. I mean, it was good, and I really dug the hell out of it. You know, if we could get best way on how to redo the show, if you're not going to bring up more talent to put on the show, what you can do instead, put a sense of one-upsmanship in the ring, in the back, saying, okay, we're going to do this. You guys need to try, go ahead, I want you guys to try and do better. You know? Something like that. You know, have each guy try and outdo each other so that way you can get the best possible show on earth. Anyways, match wound up coming to an end. There was a lot of good big back and forth going on. Ziggler wound up getting the surprise win out of nowhere. Ziggler is running hot right now. I don't want to say white hot because he ain't near that yet, but he is running hot and he's got a lot of good momentum going for him since getting that win in pinfall at Survivor Series. They need to utilize it. If they're not going to put him in a main championship spot, then you know what you do. Have him go after a title and have it be a big major and make him a major star with that title. You know? Something like that. But yeah. That was pretty much the show. Not gonna lie, if something did happen after they got the 1, 2, 3, folks, I honest to God, I don't remember. I was kinda in and out, you know, I was running rampant, before the show all that day, so I was there, but brain wasn't all the way there. So that's it for this week's show. So like on normal, don't forget to like this show, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes, look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Yeah, make sure y'all also look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. I get put in Twitter jail every now and then, so I gotta use that. I don't really use that one that much unless I am in Twitter jail. I mostly use it for the promoting, and I've already explained for the past couple weeks. Also, and folks, make sure y'all check out all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, make sure y'all check out Vicky's YouTube page. I am Danny Sunday, Monkey Morris, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all check out Axel's show, Axel's Analysis. Sunday Segway, Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Ava Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Folks, while TNA is on hiatus for right now, make sure y'all go and check out all of Ollie Ben's and Mass Mark's past episodes of TNA Turnaround. Ollie, you better appreciate I'm putting you over. And Mark, if you ever do actually break your own cardinal rule of not watching the show. Also, Bronx Bitch Forever, who, as I may add, is my client. And not just that, but my star #1 client. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me, fuck yous.